It gives me great pleasure to bring on board Mr. V. Ramakrishnan, CFO, and Milind Nakkar. He is the head of HR. Gentlemen, good morning to both of you. Thank you for joining us. Milind, Ramki is getting ready, I've been told. So I'm going to start with you. And for a TCS shareholder, Milind, it's time to do cartwheels or bhangra or dandi. I mean, these are extraordinary numbers.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are very extremely happy about it. We are able to delight our customers, shareholders, associates. What else do you want? Phenomenal quarter, and very happy.
Milind, from your perspective, and specifically we are talking about the HR perspective, attrition has gone below 10%, you've started hiring, you've given a salary hike. Let's talk about all the factors: attrition,
Yep.
salary hike, and new hiring.
Yes. So, attrition going down is something which is expected. Definitely means because of the external situation, and also because of the fact that we have always been an industry leading retention for us. So this is not something a surprise for us. It's a good thing. It's a good thing that less churn, better, good for people, good for business. Adding people means we have to obviously think ahead and think about adding our core strategy of adding trainees coming into the system like we always do, and also experienced hires coming into the system depending on the business need. So that is something which is anyway had to be done, and which is not something out of the ordinary, but it is definitely was thought through well in advance and planned ahead so that we can meet the demand. What is the third one, Nikunj?
Are you prepared? No, my question is, are you prepared for this kind of a demand implosion which suddenly has happened? Would you be forced to relook at hiring numbers? Because suddenly in between quarters there is a magical comeback in the BFSI vertical, retail vertical. Constant currency growth has been nothing short of the best I've seen in a long time. Would you be relooking at your hiring numbers purely because based on the commentary and the guidance what you've shared on the order book?
No, we are thinking ahead on this front. From the supply side, we are thinking ahead. Means the fact that we have been on continuously virtually connecting with all the trainees for the last 6 months. Getting them virtually connected and trained, and they are now project ready. 12,000 trainees are going to join us in Q3. And our overall ecosystem for hiring for experienced hires is so strong that we are doing it globally across the globe. We have been able to do it very well. We actually already hired 1,000 trainees in the US. The last year number was 1,000 for the year. In the first half year itself, we hired 1,000 trainees in the US, and so is the similar numbers in other geographies. So I think we are absolutely ready. We are thinking ahead of this, and we are basically getting people upskilled, cross-skilled, and also hiring, looking at the trend of what we are seeing, not just depending on very specific customer demand.
What was the work at home number for TCS for the quarter gone by? Are you on track to stick to your earlier guidance where you would be migrating 75% of your workforce to work on home?
Currently, we are at 97%. 3% of our workforce is working from offices or customer locations. So our vision of 25 by 25 stands, and this is a migration which is going to happen because of the current situation. But we are all set, and in terms of mindset of our people, mindset of our customers, and also the ability and readiness to be able to do this with the model which is actually now proven for 2 quarters.
My next question is that at 97% employees working from home, TCS is firing full cylinders. So will this number stay at 90% plus for next foreseeable future? Because if you're able to deliver, navigate, grow, and satisfy customers, looks like you will reach that, you know, the number of 75% well ahead of its time. And are you comfortable with this kind of an, work at home project management?
No, this is something which we basically had to do because of the current situation, right? And ensure that we are able to deliver and to our customer needs in this given situation, right? But eventually, I expect the number to basically people coming to work to be a lot higher than what we are doing today. It is it's good for everybody. It is good for people also get to come and be at work. They obviously are at home for quite long, and some of them are looking forward to come to work. So we actually we have our work, our overall offices and all are very ready to basically get people in. It's just a matter of, like looking into the outside situation, looking into the pandemic situation, and then deciding, every week we decide what we do going forward for every location, every country. And depending on that, we'll bring in. But the number will go up compared to what we have today.
The view in the market, Milind, is that on the XGNA front, because of work at home, there is a significant amount of reboot which has happened. Is this also the new normal for TCS, that the whole on-site model mix could change? Your employees, they do not have to pick up that much of travel and that kind of a client engagement because everything is happening on remote. Are we in for a big reboot there?
I would actually look at it this way. The last since February, we have gone through a period which none of us have imagined we will go through, and our customers' view about how to basically get the work done for their teams and for our teams together, our own team's view of how to get it done, and how to break boundaries and how to basically get the best talent. It doesn't matter where it is, where the talent is. All of that has changed as a kind of a crash course for everybody, for the last 6 months. And that mindset change is a very big thing in terms of being able to leverage talent across boundaries, across countries, across Pune and Chennai. All of that is a big change, and I am very excited about this thing. Because the fact that our teams as well as customers are thinking like along these lines, this change otherwise would have taken much longer.
This as an HR success and a process success. I mean, imagine for a company like TCS of the size to completely move to work from home is an extraordinary achievement. My question to you is that when you propose to your clients that you wanted to do the project delivery and you wanted to complete projects with employees working at home, was there any resistance or were they completely open about it?
There are a lot of specific type of work in banking and in some other industries where customers want to do it from offices, and which is a small percentage in which we are doing it even today, right? But most of them today, with respect to whether it is operations or whether it is projects, both of these customers are very open, basically in a situation where we are able to work and deliver to them, in the way we are delivering today. And they, like I said, because of this change, the openness actually have, exponentially, the change of, so to say, mindset in across the ecosystem, significantly helping us. We don't have to convince anybody. Customers themselves are doing it that way. And then they understand that we also need to do it this way. We are able to deliver together significant number of transformational projects, being able to deliver on operational matrices like in our olden times and even better sometimes, and being able to be at least signs of initial improvement in productivity as well. I would not be able to say that this is so much of improvement in productivity percentage at this time, because we are still too early on that. But we are seeing good signs of that, towards good positive signs around productivity as well.
Okay, Ramki also joins us. Ramki, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Ramki, some are surprised, some are astonished, but everyone is happy with what TCS has delivered for the quarter gone by. My question, Ramki, is that how does one know that the kind of uptick which has happened in the business is not a sugar rush and is not something which is short term in nature? Because Rajesh is saying that this is a multi-year trend. Now, what are the chances that the business which you've got could be compulsive, and the business which you've got could largely be a function of immediate migration which may not be there after 2 or 3 years?
I think technology and its benefits to businesses and enterprises as well as various other sectors is here to stay. That is a huge compelling paradigm. And it is going to the core of how enterprises are shaping their own future. So I think, Nikunj, the multi-year is really multi-year. So there is absolutely no doubt about that. And increasingly, see, the question is, how do you bring the benefit of so many emerging technologies and marry it with the knowledge of the customer's own business and their current environment, their future environment, their systems, their processes, and also the deep knowledge of that particular industry. When you bring this all together, and then you are able to do it at scale, and you are able to do it in an agile fashion as well as in a very distributed fashion, like what has been demonstrated and which we believe is a very strong thing going forward. I think all of it can come together. So this is definitely not a flash in the pan. This is, in fact, we had said that over the course of the year, we do believe that the growth will come back. Yes, it has been a little faster than what we ourselves planned out, but we are living in extraordinary times. But definitely we believe that this is something which will continue. The momentum will continue. Of course, we are still not out of the woods. There are still, the pandemic is serious and the effect it has had on economies around the world is not something which one can discount. But the overriding factor is that technology is what will has helped companies respond, and it will be very significant part in the recovery and the revival phases. So that's where this comes in.
Ramki, let's talk about this current quarter then. What is the right way of looking at the current quarter? There is going to be a seasonality, that is the headwind. And then there is deal momentum, which is going to be a tailwind. How will this quarter be different from the traditional Q3s?
Seasonality will be there, but it's too early to say whether it will be more or less than what it is in the has been in the past years, because sectors have also been going through significant changes. For instance, in the entire retail space, the discretionary retail has been doing well, but a large part of the non-discretionary retail has not been active at all. Now, with the holiday seasons coming up, and hopefully their business activities will go up. So I think some of those seasonality factors we'll have to wait and watch. Yes, from our own orders which are booked in the last few quarters, plus the pipeline, and also the momentum which we are seeing in the geographies as well as in the sectors, there are enough indications that we should be able to continue to do well, continue to go on this trajectory. for the next few quarters. But as I said earlier, we should always temper it with what is happening. So we should be cautious on sort of going too far ahead on this journey.
Okay, now TCS has always maintained that you would like to maintain a margin band. Now that growth is back, is there every reason for me to believe that you are likely to migrate towards the upper end of the band?
I think, see, our aspiration has always been to be better from where we were in the last couple of years or even 3 years. So the aspirational band does not change. So the goal is to be in that. Of course, a number of factors come into play. One, growth was definitely lower than what we had expected even in the last 2-3 years. We were on the cusp of getting back to on a sustained double-digit growth, but then things happened. So growth had a factor. Other than that, structurally, I think from various factors, we are definitely well poised. Currency is one factor which one has to take into account. So we are not moving away from that goal. And whether with the increased momentum which you are seeing currently, it does not in any way take us away from that goal. And we will be always focused on it, Nikunj.
Ramki, one question on buyback. The fact that TCS is considering a buyback when the stock price is at a life high and P multiples are the highest in last 5 years. What were the consideration behind coming and arriving at a price? Because companies normally they do a buyback when there is depression in the market to reward shareholders. Your stock price is an all-time high. P multiple is at a 5-year high.
See, I think we have been clear on our capital return policy in terms of percentage of our free cash flow. And we've been having a combination of instruments, both dividends as well as buyback. So one has to see it in that context. The second is, of course, while the price has to be at the same time, we have to be conscious of the fact that it has to reflect on a more long-term basis. So yes, the interest in the stock has been significant, but one has to weigh all factors in terms of our own the choices of instruments in taking this decision. So one cannot be only by the EPS currently and the PE currently. I think it's a combination of various factors.